All right, let me talk to you about education. Some of you may have family and come here with your kids, and then you need to think about education. Or maybe some of you want to do something in the education business. Earlier I said that education is a big business here, is a very young population. I said you can compare Vietnam with Germany when it comes to the number of people, more than 80 million people. The big difference, of course, is the birth rate. There are 2 million babies every year, grosso modo. And we were making jokes in another business that I supported. We always said, hey, 2 million babies every year, they do that 4 years, they have reproduced Switzerland. And of course, all those babies and kids, they need baby food, they need teen products, they also need school and education. And there is a big interest of parents to send their kids to an English language school. That's why it's very nice and easy for New Zealanders, Australians, British to come here and open an English class, English school, or even sometimes for them, for younger people, when they want to make some experience, to come here and just become an English teacher and still get a good income actually by being an English teacher. But that's already more difficult for continental European because people do want a native English speaker. So universe life is very good for the Englishmen who do speak English and easily can become an English teacher or open their own language school. That is possible, opening a language school. When it comes to other forms of education institute, that's already more challenging. The regulation, the laws are very precise and strict on this. Here you may need a lot of funds first. You may already need the authority and the proof behind you. So it's not that easy. Maybe a little bit more easy already when it comes to kindergarten. But education is very well controlled, and of course the authorities want to make sure that there's high quality so that everything is perfect and well done and really good competencies and capabilities behind it. But I know how to do that. It's also one of my businesses here that I know a lot. But I want to speak to you now also more from that point that you would come with a family and have kids and you do not speak Vietnamese. So then you will have to look for an international school. Most of the international schools are in English language. And you have international school actually from the Canadians, from the Australians, from the British and from the Americans. So you may find an American international school, a British international school, or a British Vietnamese international school. You may find a United Nations international school. So actually there's a good offer on international schools. The Germans tried to have a German international school. And as I said earlier, today nobody wants to learn French, German, or Russian. Everybody wants to learn English. So very soon they had to give up about it. I think the school still exists, but now the curriculum is all done in English. Even though it's a German school, it's all done in English. And I have a couple of Swiss and German families here who send their kids there. But it is not so easy for them to do business. And the same goes for French. Of course, there is a French school here, but that is an official French government school. So the French state is behind that. Lycée Français. And there are a lot of French foreigners here, French expatriates, and the French usually do come with their families. They do have 2 or 3 kids. So yes, there is a certain population of foreigners, Swiss Romand, Belgians, French, who are here with kids and who send them to the French school. So you do find a French school in Ho Chi Minh City and in Hanoi. So either one. But about this, you have a lot of choice when it comes to English schools. And you can really choose, you want to send your child for an Australian school, American school, a Canadian school, or a British school. So you can follow the British curricula, the international curricula. So that is very well organized, nothing to worry. Yet there is one hook. While schooling is free in Europe, most of the countries, why it's still free in the US, the moment it is below college, yeah, you have to pay here for your schooling, and that is extremely expensive. And I'm going to tell you how much you have to calculate for 1 year for one child. If that child goes to primary, secondary, I'm not talking about kindergarten. Kindergarten, you just take half of the price. You want a good education here, you have to pay for one child starting $20,000 upwards. And that is just the school fee with the basic books involved. But you have to buy a uniform, you have to buy excursions, and your kid is going to a swim club and is going into a swim competition in Singapore. So you add it up, you come easily to 22, 25, up to $30,000 a year, a school year for one child. You have two childs, calculate $40,000 to $50,000. And some have 3 kids. I know some friends having 3 kids, they really have troubles to make that profit with their company to pay $60,000 and more for their 3 kids. So that's something I thought it is important that I do speak about it. If you are having children, or if you want to do something in the education field. Now, if you're here alone without kids, yeah, you're lucky, you do not need to think about that.